think I copied it from your what you call it, so it was backwards.
Oh, the last name. Yeah.
Yeah. And she kept saying, she was like, no, it's not that. Oh, all right, okay. So I had to change about 5 times.
That
But
was me.
yeah.
That was me in the background.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
She kept telling me to change it. I said, all right,
Yeah.
I got you. But yeah, I changed it. But all right.
So that's
What's up, brother?
You're York and that's Martavius. So I spoke to you, Martavius. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We the one that had that deep conversation.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. All the personnel stuff go through McLeod. I leave it to him. He got to do something, and I deal with like all the videos and all that other stuff and posting and stuff like that. So, and then we got somebody else that does some more background, like
try
stuff,
to help us with more of the marketing and stuff.
Yeah, more marketing and flyers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we're kind of building a little team. We getting there. We getting there. Hopefully, one day I'll have a whole little squad behind me. Behind us. Whatever the case is. So we getting there, man.
With social media, like what are you building?
What do you mean?
You said you're building a team and growing. So what the platform? Like what are you building? Like social media? Like
yeah. So right now it's mostly through content creating. So most of this is we'll take it, chop it up, put it on YouTube, but mostly it goes on our Instagram and was it Facebook? I do TikTok from time to time, but but mostly YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Eventually I want to get out into the community and do more community work. Hopefully rather soon, but we're gonna see. But yeah.
Right.
But yeah. But let me do this intro real quick. So yeah, ready? Welcome back to Let's Be Men. Oh, hold on, let me close my door. Oh man, I'm tired.
My lighting looks different.
Huh?
Y'all's lighting looks a lot clearer. How you using a certain like filter or?
No, I got a lamp.
You got a lamp. That's what that
I got
is?
my phone.
For the light. Yeah. See, watch. See?
Yeah. I just use my I got like a light. I got lights, but I just don't feel like setting it up. But it is like I guess you can get like a soft light. They say a soft light is good. You get like a box soft light. But do I really want to pay $150 for a light? I don't think I want to pay $150 for a light. So
maybe down the road.
Yeah. Maybe down the road. If it makes sense, it got to make sense. If it makes sense. So, but all right. But welcome back to Let's Be Men, where real men have real conversations about manhood, fatherhood, relationships, purpose, growth, and the things that men always don't feel comfortable talking about. Tonight, we got somebody special. We have another man here who is also doing the same thing as we are. So we want to give him, forgot to introduce him. It's me, boy York. We got McLeod over there. And then we got a guest, Mr. Parrish Proust, the founder of Fatherhood.
There you
go. We want to give Mr. Parrish Proust a chance to introduce who he is and what he does, if he doesn't mind. And kind of, give us a background on, who you are and why you started Father Type.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I guess that's my intro.
Yeah.
So we just spoke about it too. It's Purse. My name is Paris.
My
Purse.
bad.
We just talked about it. He
I'm gonna
get
it
wrong right on the screen, but it's all good. Nah. But yeah, man, appreciate being here. Appreciate you guys inviting me onto your show, your platform. Blessings to it. I hope that it does well, whatever I can do to help. But yeah, I myself, founder of a program, Father Type, and I think we're on the same mission. I think a lot of people, including myself, want to see this generation, the next generation do better. Let me say that. And so that's what my program is designed to do, to mentor and coach and guide these knuckleheads out here. In y'all generation. I didn't know. How old are y'all?
I'm 32.
You 32?
Yeah, I'm about
and I
33.
Think, I think you told me you was 29.
Yes, sir. 29.
Yeah, but but so I'm a father of 7.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty experienced at fatherhood. So it's been in me. It's a passion of mine. It's my purpose, to help and be that big uncle, So and that's just what my mission is. That's what father type is to, help these young men figure out what their purpose is, what they're here to do, what their dream is, and then supply them with the tools and the resources that they need, that mentorship. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
So how did you well, I would say how did it come about? Because I'm not gonna lie and say I've done all the research in the world, but I have been on your page. I have you on YouTube, so I do know kind of what you do. I actually looked at the become an uncle thing on your page.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked at it and whatever the case is. But how did you come up with the idea? Because a lot of people, we'll see that men or young kids are missing these figures, these uncles, these fathers, big brothers, and nothing happens. So how did you come up with that? Or what about, was it something that you've seen, or was it just, I believe, I know you spoke on it being, kind of because you have a lot of children as well. So you wanted to spread that knowledge, but was there anything else that you probably seen in the community or out in the world that probably maybe that wanted you to help or something like that?
Well, yeah, when I'm helping these young men, I'm helping myself at the same time. I was that young man, right? I didn't have, so I'm my own big uncle as we speak. If that makes sense, right? And so I've had to learn how to figure out how to be a man, how to take care of myself, and I know what I missed. I know what I needed. I've always been able to kind of tap into what I felt like not having a father, right? So that void, I fill that void by filling that void in others, because I know what that feels like, right? So and that's just kind of, God put that in me from an early age. I've been a father 30 years, right? And I really made a commitment to my children, to God, that I was going to be one of the best fathers in the world, and that was like on purpose. That's been my drive. And I might sound like, and that's not, and I say one of them intentionally, because I really feel like everybody should be striving to be the best version of them. Right. And I think that the understanding of what a real man is has been lost. I've done a pretty good job figuring it out, having to figure it out on my own. And I think that it's important for when you do figure that out, you set the example and share, that wisdom. Yeah. So it's always been in me to answer your question. I don't know if I did. And everything is kind of by design. I have 7 children on purpose. I've been a father.
On purpose? Oh, this wasn't a mistake.
Well, so when I say on purpose, right, at the time, it wasn't intentional. Only one of my children were intentional.
Yeah.
But it was by design, because it's a part of my purpose, part of my makeup, because that's actually who I am and what I understand I'm to become, right? So the vision for father type came to me, a few years ago, and it has just been coming more clear as I evolve as a man, right? As a God, that I understand that I'm here to be, right? And and I don't get into religion, but I just threw that out there because when you start learning the truth and who we're supposed to be, you know, when I use the word God, when I say God, I refer to life, right? I don't come from a religious standpoint, right? I come from a realistic, holistic life on life standpoint. So, but I learned that from having to learn that, not having that father, like I said. So that's been my drive, man, is just to teach these young men how to be what they're supposed to be. Men.
Yeah. And I want to give you your flowers for that too, man. Being able to be, be a father of 7 as well, being intentional with your growth and all that, like, and trying to mold the younger generation to see that light. So I want to say thank you for your service of trying to better the community. Because start with men like you. Like a lot of us didn't, like you said, like we didn't really have that type of mentorship growing up. So the fact that you're putting yourself out there in the light to like change people's life, that makes a big difference, especially something that's positive. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank you for doing that part of it.
For real, because I didn't get it until I was 18. I didn't get it until my Uncle Tim, which I'm not sure. Do you know my Uncle Tim? I'm not sure if you. Oh, okay, so my Uncle Tim passed away, whatever the case is. But Talia's dad passed away. So when I turned 18, I got out of high school. He was the one that took me in. But all those years prior, I didn't have that, and it took. And I was so rebellious. Like you would think me and him was married, the way I was like rebellious and the way I was towards him. But then I got older, and when I had my son, or I had my daughter, and then I had my sons, and I started to understand. Well, like, damn, well, I understand everything you was telling me. You feel me? And the one thing that hurt me was I wasn't able to say that while he was here. You feel me? So for you to do that, and for you to do that for people that don't have it, you feel me? It's a great honor, and I don't think you understand. You may, because you're a little older, but the kids, the people that you do it to, they don't really understand it yet. But when they can look back, you'll become like one of those coaches that people never forget. You feel me? One of those pastors people never forget. One of those people, teachers, because you instill so much in people, and not only that, you love. And it comes from a place of father, because you're a father, so you understand what these young Black men need in their lives, especially the ones that don't have it. So just second that, just like McLeod, man, it's dope, and it's honorable what you do, and we need more of it. And that's another reason why we started this. To kind of do this, to kind of show that, everybody, and we don't got to do it the same. We can eat, everybody can eat off, the same table. We just eat different things. I don't eat beef. McLeod don't eat pork. So, it's just different things. We all can, eat. So it's just, but that's kind of why, we did this, because, we've seen the lack of it, this lack of support, the lack of, especially with Black men, like you don't see it. You see it now more because people are becoming more hip to it, but yeah, man, you wasn't seeing it, but yeah. What you about to say?
Starting to wake up. Yeah, people starting to wake up, man. Yeah, especially the you guys.
Yeah.
You guys. What I want to do though, because a lot of it's just a lot of information that foundational information that really that is missing, that I put emphasis
well, let's get into it. For the foundation of it. Where you feel like the foundation, or where should we start to start learning? Well, you know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Well, you guys, oh man, you guys, so not to get into, I don't get into religion, right? I don't get into that, and I respect it all, but I try to stay away from it, because that's I don't know how, are you guys religious, or have you strong in your beliefs?
I'm not strong in religion, but I grew up in a Baptist home. So I grew up in church and choir, but as an adult, some of that don't make sense to me. That's all I'm gonna say. Some of that stuff don't make sense. But don't get it twisted. How what I believe and how I feel has no bearing on what I think of you as a person. I don't care if you believe in the dirt.
Yeah,
that's you. That's you. You got to take it up with the dirt, not me. But I believe in God. But
and I don't know. I just like to see what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
respectful.
For sure,
that's
for
all.
Sure. Yeah.
But to answer your question is, I think the best place to start is we got to start reading, right? I'm gonna say that reading for ourselves. That's probably the simplest answer, because when you start reading and studying, you get to the truth, right? And one of the books that I would say that we should read is the Bible, right? In the dictionary.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's real. It's a simple concept. If people really just decided that they love themselves enough that they want to learn, right? So we start with just a mindset, right? A mindset of just who you are, what you are. I think most people get caught up on, and I say this a lot, most people get caught up on the name or who it is instead of what it is, right? Even when it refers to God, right? We get caught up on the name God, the word God. We don't really get caught up in what God is.
What God is, what he does, right, and how he operates, yeah.
Right. The same as what you are and what you are. You're known by your name, but what are you before your name? What were you?
Nothing.
You were a living being, a young boy, a young man.
Yeah. Right? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's just the truth of the matter. When you start really understanding knowledge of self.
Knowledge of self, yeah.
Right? You were you, and then you became York. Someone gave you that title. So we got to get back to reclaiming our title as a man, because that's the title God gave us, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that? And the reason why I say reading, because we could start there. When the question becomes, who am I, and what am I supposed to be doing? Right? Those simple questions with my life. Simple questions. Understanding that's what we're dealing with is life. That's what we're talking about, right? So my motto is, first, understand what you're dealing with before you deal with it.
Okay.
So at what okay, so as somebody that does this, at what age would you say I would say a boy should really kind of hone in on learning about manhood? Because although we are men, right?
Day
we
one.
Are men.
That's what you're raising.
Yeah, but okay, let's speak on not having a father, and that you don't have a manhood, because I grew up with a single mother and a sister, and my older sibling was already gone. My father was nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. So you don't necessarily come into that manhood until you become 18 and you get around a man, or you become a some age. So yeah, you say reading or whatever the case is, but how would you, if somebody doesn't have those resources, what would you recommend if we don't have those resources, especially at a young age? Would you recommend just a mentor, or trying to figure something out, or what would you, I guess, what would you recommend? And at what, like you said, at what age would you probably try to instill this in a kid or a young man?
You need a mentor. Everybody needs a mentor, right? Everybody needs a coach, a mentor, period. And we as Black people, we don't see the mentorship and coaches that way. We only think of coaches when it comes to sports.
Yeah, we don't
really understand life coaching, right? But it's been around forever. As a matter of fact, every successful person has coaches. Matter of fact, coaches have coaches.
Yeah.
So that's a game that, again, that comes with knowledge and reading, because that's a game that's been around forever, and we're just learning it, right? So everybody need a coach. So what age would I start? As a parent with a child, it starts from the beginning. But if you didn't have that, then it starts with a coach, and that's the problem, because other than if nobody reaches out and they're not put in that environment, then they're gonna they're gonna figure it out. Hopefully, eventually, someone's going to give them something.
Yeah,
but it always
because it really should be this from the beginning, right?
Yeah, but we don't always, but like you said, you don't always have that, and like you were saying, you hope somebody's giving that young man a chance, but 9 times out of 10, he's not falling into the hands of Paris. He's not falling into the hands of McLeod or York. He's falling into the hand of OG Paris. Before you became smart, somebody who's not smart, and they're going to teach him what manhood is: picking up this gun or picking up this, picking up that. You feel me? So it's in my opinion, it's a double-edged sword. We can kind of tell people what to do or whatever, but it comes down to the resources, and
it does.
And to me, I think that's another reason why things like this are important, especially today, because you have social media. So everybody may not pick up a book, but somehow, some way, you're going to see it on social media. You're going to see it somehow, some way. So, but you are correct. Reading and teaching it from a young age, because I got 2 little boys, two toddlers, and even my 2-year-old. Yeah, you got to take out the trash. You put your own trash in the trash. My 4-year-old boy, make sure you pick up the clothes. When I leave the house, you're the man of the house. Here's what it comes with. So, but it's just it's hard. It is hard. And as somebody that comes from that, picking up a book. I ain't picking up no goddamn.
But let me add to that, because that wasn't all. No.
I know. And it was just me kind of giving the feedback of what you said. Yeah. And it's just, and I like to have people on that comes from a different spectrum, because you're talking about a book. Me personally, I wouldn't have brought up a book because I didn't come from a book, and nobody taught me about a book. Somebody did, but I wasn't thinking about no book at the age of 18. You think I'm thinking about a book? No, I'm thinking about that girl that I just got to smelling. I'm not thinking about that book, But you are right, though. You are completely correct. A lot of knowledge, and if we go back in the days, the biggest quote is, if you want to hire something from a black person, you put it in the book.
Right.
It don't say black person, but y'all catch my drift. You put it in the book. And it's so much things in books that we fail to read, such as the Bible.
And that's why I said book. But I reading is boring. I don't like to read myself, honestly. But because I understand how important it is, I make myself do more of it, because that's where it's at. But it's not really just the book. I just referenced the book to, the bottom line, the young men need to just find themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So finding yourself is the truth. Defining what my program is based on goals, the dream, right? I think I believe everybody has one, and I think if we took the time to, you ask, where does it start? It really just starts in engaging with the young. This is how I do it. You know what I mean? Nephew, what you doing with your life, man? What do you want to do with your life? If you had it your way, what's the goal? What's the dream? If you outside, what you trying to make $100,000, then what? What are you doing with the $100,000?
Yeah, if money wasn't an issue,
right? Well, let's pretend you got the $100,000. Like you got $100,000 right now. What would you do? Because that's what matters. So you need to have a plan, because even you standing on this corner, you trying to make like I was $1 million. What am I going to do when I get the $1 million?
Blow it.
You're going to blow it if you don't have a plan. So you should already know what you're going to do when you get the $1 million, and then the $1 million going to come.
But the thing about that part of it, though, is we transitioning from that fast money to now slowing down that pace to get that slow money, but thinking more long term at that point. At that young age, we ain't really like man, we getting it. We making the money right now. But it's like now you telling me to slow down. Man, I got a daughter that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that money. You know what I'm saying? Like this comes with the intentional learning now. Like, yeah, you mentioned like the books and stuff like that, but at that age, like you said, we ain't really picking up the book. But like for me, I like books. I look at it as a walking mentor for me because maybe I ain't had that growing up as far as like people really being in my ear to tell me stuff. But this book is having me like show like self-development. It's showing me if I invest, like where to invest $1,000 at, and I'm being more intentional with that because I want to grow. But a lot of us, like, we don't have that patience. So when you say read a book, man, you talking about, man, I got to sit back, I got to open this first page because not only am I reading, I got to comprehend what I'm reading to, like, you know what I'm saying, apply it, create that action. Because without that, it just words coming in and out. Even like if you in church and the pastor giving the lecture, it's coming in and out at that young age until something in your life, reality actually like correlates with that and it clicks. Like, dang, man, he was just talking about this. I heard this from this book on this audible book. Now that switch is starting to turn because it's like if I keep moving like this, I'm seeing a bunch of my homies just keep dropping. What can I do now? And I just heard it from Pastor. I just heard it from this book I read. Now Paris is saying it. Maybe I just need to focus because what we doing at this like realm of mentorship, we're saving lives. You know what I'm saying? We wanting them to slow down, think before they act. So
you got a dream, man. You got to have a dream, bro. That's my biggest thing. You got to have a dream. In my house, dreams are mandatory. That's my program is dreams are mandatory, and I just, you know, I hold that standard to people that I come in contact with. That's what my program is designed. I hold my children. I hold myself to a dream.
There's a book I got for you. There's a book I got for you. Since you're talking dreams, there's a book I got for you that I want you and your 7 kids to check out. It's called Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. It's a great book. Check that book out.
Dream Giver.
It got like a white feather on the cover and everything like that. It starts with a parable in the beginning, and then it gets more to like the religion towards the end and stuff, how it relates to it. So it talks about leaving the land of the familiar and going to the unfamiliar, following faith and stuff like that. Like those parables get broken down into it. So I think that would be a great book. You know what I'm saying? Because I read books, you know what I'm saying? Because I became more intentional with that, creating more of my patience with. So check that book out.
I ain't got that patience to read. I have a question. So how do you? So when it comes to a mentoring a young man, or saying you're mentoring somebody to become a mentor, how do you channel your inner father? And I think because sometimes we find it. I think sometimes some people may find it easier to be a parent to another kid, and some don't. You know, so how do you do that? Because I've been trying to kind of like get into it, not to be a father to somebody else, but be like that uncle, you know, like you said, or kind of be that bigger brother, because I notice it, and I go to, you know, when I take my kids to school, I see so many kids that don't really have fathers around, or you know, or like you said, how hard would it be for me to go up to somebody and be like, hey, you know, what's up? What you got going on with your life? So how do you do that? How do you say, hey, well, I can kind of tell you need a father, or how do you bring, you know, Paris from home father and put your little spin on it and then give it to these young men?
I don't switch it up. So I guess to answer that question, for me, it has to be you. I tap into the child in me. So I see myself in children. So I know what I wanted or needed, and this is from me not having a father, right? And I don't know if don't think everybody can tap in and understand it the way that I do. It's a gift of mine, but I can, and I think I don't think nobody should ever lose that child in them, because that's where you learn. That's your connection to God. That's where we say we are God's children. That's that child in you of God that allows you to continue to learn. That's the connection. So I'm able, but that's when I say God, life. So I connect with children. I connect with people. I connect with life. So I see, if I see a need, or let me. My uncle told me. Yeah, and my uncle, I've been blessed to be around, I was raised around a lot of older people, wise people in the streets, and taught me a lot of things. And one of the things that I was taught was to never miss an opportunity to help. Right? So that instilled in me a perception of help as that instilled a godly nature in me, not even knowing it, because I started consciously looking to help, because that's how life works. So it's karma, right? You got some people that will help, that only help looking for something in return.
Uh-huh.
But then you have people that look to help knowing that's how it works. In order to get what blessings you need, you have to be a blessing, right? So I understand that law. That's a principle. And so because I understand me, I think and what a man is supposed to be, right? I've defined man. This is what I meant by reading, right? Reading informs of really studying what man is. It's a word, right? How many people really go and study? Okay, I can ask you right now, what type of man do you want to be, right? You can ask anybody that. You could just know this. Know that you're talking to you see a young boy, you know he's supposed to be a man. Just know that, right? This is just a connection that you just have to life, recognizing it, right? You can see a puppy, you know this puppy is going to grow to be a dog, consciously or subconsciously, right? So your sister has a baby. Some people ask, well, damn, I don't know what to get the baby for their birthday. But you could get the baby diapers at any time in the first 4 years. You know it's going to need diapers, right? If you're thinking.
Yes, it is. Yep. It is.
Right? You see a baby, you can think of a million things to get the baby. The excuse of I didn't know what to get is bullshit. Excuse my language.
That's all right. It's all right.
It's the same concept or mindset when you're looking, and you're like intentionally looking to learn, to help, but grow for yourself also, right? Because there's a connection. Then don't assume they know, ask. How can I help? Because they need something. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's how you build that. It's kind of it seems like a form of like a way. To me, it would be a form of building relationship. Because if somebody come to me, so right as a child in school, and I think I realized as older, I had a lot of trouble because I was missing what I was yearning for. So if somebody would have came and asked, "Hey, what is wrong with you?" instead of just putting me in detention, instead of just assuming, well, maybe something I'm crazy or something like that. And then and it's crazy that you speak of, just asking, because I think I seen a movie or a quote, and it's saying that the reason why a lot of All American, I'm watching All American, and he said that, and he asked him, he was like, man, how are you so good with the kids? Because they're there and then in Compton. How are you so good with the African American? He was like, well, I don't make them, respect me. I build that trust with them. I ask them, what do they need? What do they need help with? How can I help you? Not here is what because you're playing football for me. So you're already giving me, you're showing up to school, you're already giving me. So in return, I see you're still struggling with showing up on time, or so why get mad at me for showing up? If you ask me that question, you'll find out, well, my mama is just me, my mama, and my sister and my brother. We all go to different schools. My mom worked across town. You would have known that instead of just yelling at me. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's all about building that relationship, but it's also hard because you have to, as a person, you have to learn how to do that. But at the same time,
it's a very hard thing to do.
it is.
Yeah.
And
That's what that patience come in at.
The patience, the growth, and the willingness not to be bitter toward certain
having
things.
that understanding too.
Having, because as a man, because if McLeod, if Paris and McLeod try to get together, but McLeod is he's just not able to get past it, then it's not going to work. Or what if Paris is trying to teach you something, but it's not coming from the right way. It's coming more as being a dictator and not being a motivator, a mentor. It's never going to work.
Yeah, you got to be willing to receive.
Yep. You got to become what it is you are looking for.
Which is true. Which is crazy. So go ahead.
Because if you don't become it, then you won't even know it when you see it. You don't know it. If you don't know how to love yourself, you don't know what love is and how to love yourself. You don't become that, then you don't know what it looks like. So you have to become it. Now you can decipher what's what. You can see who's real and who's not if you know what love is.
Yeah.
If you know what the truth is, you can spot the lie.
Yeah, which is true. But a lot of that stuff come from generation though. It's what we've been brought up in lies. I've been brought up around addicts, around older people who lie all the time, or around this person who does this. So when I become 16, 17, it's what I know. I don't know how to be a proper man. I don't know how to be a proper gentleman. I don't know how to communicate. I don't know how to say I'm angry. I just know how to show I'm angry, because it's all we show. So yeah, we could blame the person that's going through it, but at some point in time, we got to blame the upbringing, of what a person goes through. But at the same time, you can only blame your upbringing, but so much. You can only bring it, but so much. You have to let that shit go.
I split it, man. I split
it
with my kid. I split it with I say, Ma, you got to take 50-50. Because, black people, we like to use, they like to say, well, you grown. Anybody tell you to, nobody told me to do it. You're right. But I did it from the options that you gave me, right? Without any guidance. So you got to own some of that. So I split it with you. And even with my children, I'm not the same parent that I was when my oldest is 30 years old. So I had to go back and apologize to my children. And that shit that I told you back then, scratch that. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, you really got to be able to go back and fix some things that you may have damaged along the way. That's another thing. But that comes with growth too.
It comes with growth and not being ignorant.
Not being right.
Because even me as a dad, I got a 5-year-old, I got a 4-year-old, and he has autism, and I have a 2.5-year-old, right? So even me now, even so I don't spank my daughter. I don't put my hands on my girl. That's my best friend girl. I won't put my hand, because I don't believe a man she should ever equate my love with any type of physical, any type of thing physical, unless it's like roughhousing, playing, that's different. But discipline, no. But at the same time, I try to teach them the exact same thing. It's no different. Because you're a girl, you're a girl. Because you're a boy, you're a boy. But with toddlers, it's hard, and it's like you still have to. Even to a toddler, you have to be willing to apologize, because I find myself feeling guilty about a lot of things that I feel like I could have did not as hard, but because maybe I was just, all right. So my son, they got autism. It should be too much sometimes. It's just too much. I don't be trying to yell, but me saying it softly, it just don't work. Or me put, me. So I have to put you in timeout. I have to do this. But at the same time, I'm man enough to be like, hey, I know you may not understand this, but I'm wrong. Yeah. And even though they don't understand that, I think it goes a long way within me being, like you said, finding out the man I am, the person I am, and not only that, but who I want my sons to be and who I want my daughter to find in a man. You feel me?
That's good practice too, because that means they understand, like, as they get older, they will be able to express their emotion towards you too, because you're creating that vulnerable moment for them. So it's like, dang, dad did this and he apologized. He put his pride and everything to the side. Like, I don't even know what pride is at that point. Like, Dad, I did this, I'm wrong. And like, so that's good practice, especially for the young ones.
Well, if I could do it for my boss, I could do it for my kids.
Right? Facts. You straighten up as soon as you hit the clock, right?
As soon as you hit the clock. If I can straighten up for that, you feel me? If I can straighten up for my boss, I can, if I can apologize to somebody for cutting them off, why can't I apologize to my kids for yelling? Or
even if you could just have, if you could just have that same self-awareness that you have at work, because there's this automatic respect that we give our jobs just because it's the job. There's a respect towards it where you just are not going to yell, it not even by accident. Like, that's not gonna happen because you govern yourself accordingly at work. But why is it that we don't go home and govern ourselves accordingly at home? The same respect that we govern ourselves with at work should be at home. And that's why these principles that are so important, bro. That's why program is about principles. You gotta, and I was gonna tell you that, you gotta adopt some principles to live by and live by them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the main principles that you pretty much like focus on?
So I have principles in my program on my board that I live by and that I raise my children by and that I implement in my program. And one of the principles is respect. Respect at all times, right? Just one of them. I got 12 of them. One of them is respect. And this is where I go back to reading again, right? Because what respect looks like to you may be different from Octavius. And that's just because everybody has experienced respect and disrespect in different ways, different walks of life. So even with anything you deal with, it's going to be two different experiences of the same thing. Mm-hmm. So what you really need to do, what I've learned to do, is get an understanding of what respect is amongst us. So what does respect mean to you? What does respect means to me? And now because it says in the Bible, how can two go forward unless they agree, right? There's so many principles involved in that, because you have to be in an alignment. And in order, so it doesn't matter whether you think you know what respect is, you don't know what respect means to me, right?
So do you, speaking of respect, I think me and McClyde had this conversation about the difference between respect and ego.
But hold on, real quick.
How do you teach that?
I'm about to show you. This is what I meant by read. I go to the word. So we're going to go to the dictionary. And we're going to read what the word respect means.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
And now we both going to agree to do this towards each other. So it's this is what respect is, or this what you no, this is what respect is. Do you agree to do this to me?
So you not trying to like figure out what respect is. You going for the face value of the definition of respect.
The word that's in the Bible. Yep. That's in the Bible. The scripture, Timothy, 2 Timothy, it says, study to show thyself approved. This is why I say read, because when you start reading certain things, you understand that life comes with instructions. Like, you're supposed to do certain things. Absolutely. And one of them is read.
Yeah. Respect is a feeling or understanding that someone or something is important, serious, etc., and deserve appropriate treatment or regard. It never once said how you felt. It never once said how
That's
you felt.
crazy.
It
I
never
ain't
don't
never
once
matter
just
how
said
said
you
how you
feel.
felt because it does not
It don't
matter.
matter.
Don't
It
give a
don't matter
damn
how you
how you
feel.
feel.
It said that someone or something, as long as that personal thing is important to that person or that matter is serious, you should not disrespect nobody's respect.
It don't matter how you feel.
This is why I treat
That's
everybody the
crazy.
same. I don't care if you are a janitor. I don't care if you're a CEO. When I see you, what's happening? I'm gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna greet you or whatever. I'm gonna open the door, whatever the case is. It don't
I don't
whatever.
care how you. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And I ask everybody to respect me. I am never disrespectful first. I'm always respectful first. I'm always give you your props. Now, once you become disrespectful, then the Florida come out. I become a Florida jit, and I hate that word, but I go back to being from Florida. But yeah, it never said, it never said how you felt. It said,
And watch this. You won't find a person that say they don't know what respect is. Everybody you know knows what respect is, but have never read it.
No, they know what they respect is. They know.
That's
they
what I
know
mean.
what it is to them.
They know it. So
They
you're
never-
dealing with
yeah.
a billion people with a billion different experiences of respect, but nobody knows the word. This is why I go to the word, and this is where in the Bible it says the word of God is true. Listen, God's words. What that means is all words spoken truthfully. That's it. Know what the hell you talking about when you talking. That's God's word.
Or something. Can you explain something?
I mean, it's something.
It don't matter
but
what
it's
it
to
is.
you.
That's the whole
That's,
point.
it's to you. It ain't
It
to
don't
me.
matter what it is. If you matter to me enough to be in here, then whatever that thing is, I have to respect.
I respect
and watch
it.
this. The most important thing in it is the life, right? So I get down to the root. The fact that you are, listen, this is what I teach. Because when you start getting down to what we're dealing with, life, then you start certain principles. One of my principles is appreciation. You have to appreciate the life you have. Gratitude. You have to, because it's the most important thing. Life is the most important thing. So in everything, if there's life in it, then they have to have love for it. I don't care what it is.
A gain is a gain, no matter how big or small it is. I tell everybody that.
Now that doesn't mean you have to like it.
You don't. You do not have to like that penny, but I'm gonna get. If I see a penny on the ground, I'm gonna pick it up. It may not be. I'm gonna get it.
You don't gotta like
correct. You don't have to like it. You
don't
have to like
me. You feel
me.
like it or not.
You don't have to like me, but can you respect my decision? Can you respect how I feel? Can you respect what I say? You feel me?
Can you love me enough that the fact that I'm here with you, like I'm live too. Yeah. God chose me too. What makes you think that, huh?
Yeah. Now I can see how that ego part could get in the way too. Now.
Yeah.
when you and definitely when you think about a definition, there you go, because people think they're talking about respect, but they're talking about their ego.
Yep.
It's not about like you said, the general word respect. No, it's your ego. It's what you feel, what you think is respect. No, you for some reason you think your shoes should be respected. I give two fucks about your shoes, but because you care about them shoes, I ain't even gonna look at the shoes. Cause I ain't gonna look at the shoes, big dog. Yep. So I don't care, right? I don't care, but I respect you enough to respect what you got going on. I don't care if you want to eat glass.
And people don't see that. And people don't see that as disrespect. Why? Because what that is, that's called inconsiderate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But inconsiderate is a form of disrespect. Like it's disregarding. You brush. You're not even like. I don't even matter. Nothing matters, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you like it. And that's where people really don't understand what respect really means. Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah. So how do you, when mentorship gets hard, What is something that you do, or when being a mentee? Because I'm pretty sure you see young Black men that have hard times or whatever, being coachable. What is something that you would recommend for them to become more coachable? And I ask that because even no matter what age you are, men in general have a hard time being coachable. Black, white, but especially as African American Black men, because we come from a household of non-coaches. 95% of us come from, a single mom who was just doing her best. So she wasn't very coachable. She was more so of a teacher. She was more so of a principal, not necessarily being a hands-on teacher. So how would you, how do you navigate those waters of, when it's kind of hard to be a mentor, or when it's hard to have a mentee?
When it's hard to have a mentee?
Yeah. And when it's hard to be a mentor, because I would personally think that it may get times where maybe it may be hard, but to each his own though.
I enjoy
because
it.
I'm not a mentor, so I don't know if there are any downtime. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of ups. I see mentors on TV. McLeod has a mentor that I've interviewed, things like that, and I don't personally have one. I don't personally have one. I have people in my life that I talk to.
Yeah.
A mentor, I don't have one. But
I
go
got you.
ahead.
Whenever you're ready, man. I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there one day, brother. I'm just now. So I'm not afraid. My sperm donor broke my heart, and I'm just now recovering. I call him a sperm donor. That's what he did.
Your who?
My sperm donor. That's what he is.
Okay.
He's a sperm donor. All right. That's what he did. So I'm not afraid to admit that he broke my heart. So I know that I have issues. So I'm just not becoming comfortable with men in general. Like these last probably 5 years, I'm just not really becoming being open and vulnerable with men, because I come from a female's background of being around females. So I'm gonna get there. I just don't know when, but I'm gonna get there.
Well, we're gonna help you get there, man. Maybe tonight, because I'm gonna say this. This is where it's funny we're talking about respect, right? And because respect is respect, and that sperm donor matters. It's period.
Yeah.
To somebody, and let's just say that somebody is still alive.
Who?
Your sperm donor.
Oh, I believe so. No, I believe so.
So he's still alive.
Yeah, they should be.
And I get it, right? I get it. But when we get to respect and an understanding, let me tell you what I did. When I really started learning how to really love myself based on the definition, I'm not talking about somebody telling me they love me. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about studying the word love and then applying it to myself first. And then learning how to apply that to life itself. Because once I started learning how to apply it to myself, now I can apply it to everything I come in contact with, because this is what I'm supposed to be. This is how life works, right? Because if you don't take care of it, it's going to die sooner than later. How about that? Because we all going to pass at some point, but the idea is you're not ready to die now. So while you're here, you might as well live. And how you live is taking care of yourself, taking care of life, loving yourself, right? And when you understand that your sperm donor is a part of you being here, that alone deserves respect according to the definition.
That ain't something I care about. But okay.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Go ahead.
What? You missed it then.
No. I know. I understand. I completely understand what you're saying. I've had this conversation with my uncle before he passed. He told me that. He said, because me and my uncle did the same thing. He said, you're going to have to call more than you get called. because we've had about my sperm donor, and don't get it twisted. I don't regret who I have as parents, right? I don't regret the life I grew up in. I don't regret him not being there. I appreciate it. It as a man, and when I had children and when I started to really become a father and understand who I was as a father, I was grateful that he wasn't there. So everything that he didn't do, I'm very grateful. I have no ill will towards the man, but what he is what he is. If I see him on the street and he need help, by all means, right? But I remember the times that you was drunk and high and almost killed me and my sister.
On purpose?
Right? I remember those times on more than one time, and I have a lot more stories, right? But people, and that's why I say people love these people, but they don't understand what they did to you. So yeah, people tell me I'm supposed to respect my sperm donor, whatever the case is. But me personally, I can give two fucks. But I have the man I am. I go to counseling. I have a journal, right? I know my problems, and I'm doing my best to break these curses. So if he was to, I got one right on the bed. I got one. I got a dinosaur on it. I don't be playing. Look,
I started journaling myself, bro.
So if he was to come and say, I need help, and I got it for sure, but that's not me. That's my kids in me. That's the kid in me. That's my babies, because no matter what, I always want my kids to know they grandparents. I'll never take that from them. But I'm not going to allow you to come in my life and destroy my kids' life the way you destroyed my life. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Right? And the habits he has and stuff like that, I just don't get down with. So we just don't. But he's important. Everybody knows about my sperm donor, father, whatever you want to call him. Everybody knows about him. People know about him. People know I love him. People know I go to bat for him. If he get beat up on the street right now, and I see it, now he gonna take a few licks. You got to take a few licks.
Yeah,
but I'm going. If he on fire, I'm gonna make sure he out. But I feel how I feel.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, man. You do feel, and your feelings are valid. But yeah. we all went to the word, and we realized that ain't no feelings in it.
The Bible still
ain't no feelings in it, though.
The Bible still say, honor thy mother and thy father, for your days shall be long. And it does not say, it does not say how you feel. So I've always respected, never been disrespectful. I've always, made sure up and up. But just because you're my father, don't mean you get to disrupt my life. You did that as a child.
At all. No,
you did that as a child, so you don't get. And the same thing for mothers. It doesn't change. You feel me? But yeah, but he is important. He's the reason. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. My babies wouldn't be here. What's up?
Why do you call him sperm donor?
Yeah, well, he did. Donated sperm. He left.
Okay. He's also your father.
Yeah, nah, he not. You don't deserve that title of father or dad.
Watch this.
I don't have to call him that in order.
No, hold on, wait. Hold on. You right. You don't have to. That's a choice, but that doesn't negate the fact of that's what he is.
Yeah, he could be that, but I don't got to acknowledge him as that.
So hold on. Just follow me real quick. Just follow me, because you want to become what you're supposed to become, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man. You agree?
Mm-hmm.
How about this?
Yeah, I agree. No, you're
okay,
right.
Cool. How about this? What type of man do you want to become? A good man, a mediocre man, or a great man?
I want to be a man that my kids can look up to, my kids can follow.
Well, hold on.
Whatever type of man that is. Whatever type of man that is.
Well, define it. And the Bible talks about a good man, a great man doing something. Like, define what. Okay, let's just say man. You don't need to put a label. I just
want to be a man. Yeah, I don't got to necessarily put a label on. You
don't have to if you don't want to.
I want my kids to respect me.
Do you want to be a man of truth?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. The truth of the matter is, by definition, by the word, he is your father.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, you have a duty to respect your father. Don't have to like him. You don't have to like him. I don't like my father. I did not like my father. Matter of fact, my father's dead, and I can still say I didn't like him, right? So I don't hold on to, listen, because I understand the truth. So I feel you. But now, as a man of truth, it is what it is, and we learn how to deal with it, right? And be able to govern ourselves, to govern our set boundaries, raise our families, but deal with things accordingly. And the truth of the matter, he is your father. He is a father. He whether he's being one or not. Two different. One is a verb, one is a noun. By definition, because to father something is doing something, but a father is, you can't change that.
You can't, and I've never tried to change that.
But that's where the respect. But that's where the respect for the truth comes in at.
No, but I don't have to be respectful and call him that or acknowledge what he has not done. He has not been a father.
No.
Earn that
but
title.
I'm not saying you're not.
You're taking it as like the face value of what the father is. That's what he's trying to say.
Right, we're not going on you.
No. I take it as and I understand that, but as a father, I didn't learn. I don't because so I go to counseling. I talk about all this shit. This does not bother me. I've been through this for a long time. I've been fighting this for a long time. So
I don't mean tonight with me though. I meant just
I'm talking about just in general.
Oh, okay.
I've done the reaching out. I've done the obeying. I've done all that. Right. What I will not do is give him the satisfaction or the credit that he does not deserve. You're right. So what I do is I found myself exactly like him at a point in time in my life, right? And I noticed that, and I didn't try to hide from it. I didn't try to shield from it. I got better at it. I became a better person, became a better man. I got help. I started going to the gym, working out, doing this, doing that. You feel me? So you are right. He is important. Without him, I wouldn't be here. So I do have to respect that I have a father, dad, whatever the case is. But what I will not do is give his ass the credit. But I do respect.
Just leave that alone.
Can't.
Just stick to the fact that you wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Just love that.
I ain't get that yet.
Watch this. This is what I did, though. I'm sharing with you what I did. I promise you. Before my dad died, my dad was on heroin my whole life. Both my parents were recovering addicts, bro. Both of them, right? So my dad hasn't never. Well, I know him. Same thing. So before my dad passed, I told my dad that he was going to be the best man in my wedding, man. When I really learned who I was, I came to that realization, and he was shocked. I said, Dad, you're going to be my best man in the wedding. He was like, what? What you mean I'm going to be he was shocked. Because he know I don't like him. I could tell my daddy, fuck you, and I love you at the same time. Because I had healed to the point where I could tell you as a man that I don't appreciate it, I don't like you. But the fact of who you are, and I've learned to love myself, that you're the best man in my life. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. That's how much I learned to love myself. That he is the best. There's no better man than him. Because I'm here because of him. I told him that. I was going to have him in my wedding. There's no one more important than this man when I realized how important I was to my children.
How long it took you to battle through that and come through that? At what age did you say you?
About 32.
So around my age.
Yeah, around that.
So you gotta give me time, is all I'm saying, baby.
I got you.
I just got to and so look, so here's the thing, right? So I've never, even my mom, right? I love my mama, right? We have our beef or whatever. And just like any parent-child relationship, that shit ain't always perfect. Everybody has something about their childhood that they don't like, and they have a beef with their parent about it, right? Here's my thing, and I've never spoke about this, and fuck it, let's speak about it. Here's my thing, right? You had the opportunity to, get help, get clean, even be a better person, right? And you chose not to stay. And that's what bugs me. And I've reached out, right? And instead of him trying to be a father, be a grandparent, it was always about money, right? And I just don't do that. So the grudge that I hold, or whatever the case is, I wouldn't even say it's a grudge. It's just shit that I don't like or I don't respect because I'm a father, and I hold it near and dear to my heart, which it's starting to, it's slowly anticipating as time go on, therapy or whatever. But I hold it there because I never want to be in the position that he was and that he put his kids in, or his child. I'm his only biological child, but I have siblings, so his kids, right? So that's why I hold it near to my heart. But I don't have any, I don't have any ill will towards the dude, right? I don't. Like, for what? Because what does that do for my babies? What does that do for McLeod when McLeod having a hard day? Who, my kids?
Do they know him?
No. I keep that. No, I keep that separate. If he come to me clean, in a better state of mind, and has his stuff, and you don't even got to have it together. But if you come to me clean and you come to me and really want to be a grandparent, by all means. But as far as me going and getting you and stuff like that, no. And my kids are young, so until I feel like I can handle it, I don't even know if I want to put them in that situation. You see what I'm saying? But it's, to me, it ain't no disrespect to him. It's all love.
Do they know of him?
No. They probably don't know nothing about him because I haven't seen him in years. So I don't even know nothing about him. I can't even tell you anything about him. I probably.
That's a part of being a parent, man. Raising the children is to teach them who they are, where they come from, and don't share your, don't make your experiences theirs. Mm-hmm. Meaning, you can still teach them about their grandfather without him having to, and wait for him to be, ready for a relationship. They can still know him, could you kind of, could they need to know where they come from.
Yeah, right? they do. And I'm always on that. So and that's why with my mom call, I let them speak to the kids. And my mom was in Carolina. I don't go to Carolina. I don't go home. I haven't been home in years, right? So that's where my parents are at. I just don't go there. But I don't get it twisted. I tell my kids about, like, well, you lucky. A lot of stuff be like, you lucky. When I used to get disciplined, this was, you was my, your grandma was bad on me, stuff like that. But I also tell them about the good times, how I used to stick my hand in the bowl after the cake and eat the cake when mama got done making cake. So I tell them about the times that he took me fishing. So I remember those times, but it's way more bad than I remember than good. Right. But at the same time, I don't dwell on it, and I've come to a place to where I know I've chopped it off, and I could be a father without letting what happened to me constantly come back up when I'm dealing with my kids. So I can do that, and I can tell. I tell the stories all the time, just random stories about him, whatever we're doing or something like that. But I don't like bad mouthing people, so I don't really. I'm not that guy. So I'm gonna let it show.
Bad him though, you know that, right?
Who?
You did.
Who? I know it's telling the truth. You call it bad mouth. I call it telling the truth.
Well,
it's called telling the truth.
So hold on. Watch this. Because the word of the day is respect. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Based on definition. Mm-hmm. I just said you badmouthed them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how I felt. Well, that's how I felt, but that's you got to agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're doing. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I see.
But when you really when you study, when you know, and I just did that because for real, when you really start practicing, that's why I said write down some principles. Write down some principles and then live by them. And respect is one of them, because when you start really digesting what it means and it becomes you, then you deal with everything.
So at what point do I get
That
to
makes
say
sense.
fuck? It does, but what point do I get to say fuck respect? Because I'm put it. So you saying
Never.
I can't? So you saying I can't? So you telling me if somebody smoked crack in your face and teach you how to put crack inside a crack pipe, I'm supposed to respect you as a father? I'm supposed to call you my father?
It's two different things.
You said respect. You said I'm supposed to respect him. Now, two things can be true. I can be ugly and I can have money. So two things can be true. But you said it, so you made a point. I'm making a point. Is all.
I got you. I'm about to show you. So, no, you're not respecting the fact that he introduced you to crack, smoke crack. No. What you're doing is are you a child or as a child? Now, how you would deal with that is express.
It's different. It's different how I would deal with it now.
Right. But as a child, you don't know what that is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when you start learning what that is, then you understand that this is your father, and that's the respect, right? But now what he's done was wrong. You have to address that, right? As a man. Now, if you're old enough to speak, you have to address with your father and set boundaries. Because what he did, I guarantee you, he just didn't know any better, right? There's something called an addiction, and listen.
I got one. It's okay. We all got one. We all addicted to something.
Right. So what that is that your father and a lot of men haven't learned certain things. There's a void, and one of them is discipline. One of them is self-respect. One of them is, but these are these principles. I promise you, we're not taught them. So he learned how my dad learned, winging it. You know what I mean? In this system, trying to figure out how this shit work and going for anything, and end up with a drug habit. I promise you, that's how it happened. He wasn't created to do that. He wasn't.
No, the motherfucker's brilliant. He could have been anything.
I know he's brilliant. We all brilliant. We get back to it. We got to get back to it.
Drug addict, real brilliant.
Yeah, but so we got to get back to it, because you got to understand that some way along the way we have lost our way. Your father included, right? And now you're the result of that. You're fixing it, but we've been lost our way by design. This is where you start understanding just how life works. You start learning how to love you, and you're a part of it. And you're going to experience the same thing in your own way. Just disrespect, betrayal, distrust, whatever addictions you might have. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter.
And it is, and I realize that. Don't get it twisted. Like, I realize I even see things now. I know we probably got way off topic, but whatever. I mean, I'll be getting in this. McLeod come from a solid. You know, his dad different things, but McLeod come from a solid two. You know, so and that's no reason why I got McLeod. We come from two different backgrounds, right? So I'm respectful, right, of who he is or whatever. What I'm not respectful is the fact that you never try to make up for the things you did, right? And but somebody once told me that you can't hold that grudge, because they may not feel bad, they may not feel the need, they may not feel the yearn that you feel or you once felt to be a father as much as you felt as the need to just want to be a child or want to be a son, or to want to have that mentorship. So I don't fault him in the mimic. And once again, I tell my class all the time, I don't fault all parents for the things that they did, right? Because I've made mistakes based off what I was taught, right? I had to break those things. What I don't respect is if you come from a no father, no uncle, whatever the case is, right? How do you continue that? How do you know that that is going on, that's happening? You continue that. That's my beef with the situation. You come from that and you continue to do it. I could have did the same thing, right? And I'm gonna say all the time, I'm gonna get this tattoo. I'm a product of my environment. My babies will be the product of environment that I build.
Right.
And it's all, once again, and if you think about it, it always goes back to what we're taught and what we're brainwashed to believe, that we're supposed to just be these products of these certain environments.
Right.
But yeah,
you're gonna be a product of it. It's how you learn how to deal with that. So let me ask you a question, both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured out what your purpose is yet?
Who, me?
You.
I think my purpose is honestly, I think my purpose is helping men.
Okay.
And I think that's why this is put in my heart and put on my mind to do this.
Okay, so let me give you something to think about, real, and the idea of becoming something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Helping men. Do you agree you have to become a man?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you defined what that is?
To me personally, no, not. I would say not all the way. I would say I'm still defining it.
Okay, cool. That's the number one. That's where you start, and you'll be surprised if you define it. And I can help you define it. But if you define it on your own, then you'll be respect is involved in that. So in order for you to become what you are here to become, which is a man, then you're gonna have to find that respect also. So you ask me, is there some point where you can ever say fuck respect? No, because if you ever say fuck respect, that means you still haven't become that man yet.
That man, yeah.
And so as long as you hold on to you hold on to it, I just want to fuck, then you're holding yourself back from becoming that man that God created you to become. If hold on, because you say you haven't defined it yet, so I don't know. Maybe you define a man.
No, you're right.
Respect is not involved. That's a different type of man, but that's what you go with. Cool. But if you go in the God way, or you go to the Bible and you study, you're going to find respect involved in it. And then and when you become that man, then what that means is respect has to become a part of you. So now you're giving respect to everything. It doesn't matter who it is. Mm. And now you have boundaries and rules that you have set in place determining who you allow in your life. Those are boundaries, but there's no disrespect involved in that.
Yeah.
Right. And I see that too, because being able to be like that man for the others as well. Like if you're say, hey, I want to focus on building the men up, you feel me? What if they you come across somebody that just like you? Are you gonna tell them, man, fuck him? You know what I'm saying? Like create that type of bound again because of the feelings that you have. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's trying to.
I get it, and I'm gonna tell. So me personally, what's that shit? Young Jeezy told us all to trap or die. He told his son to go to college, right? So no matter how I feel or whatever, if I see Paris on the street as his younger version and he needs somebody to step in, no matter how I feel about my personal father, whatever, it's not going to affect how I mentor or what comes out. I think I said this earlier, because what happens is that goes back to that cycle.
You can't call him a sperm donor though. You can't talk to the
you can't agree with him
and call him the sperm donor.
You may not got to respect me calling him a sperm donor.
And then say you gonna have them calling they daddy sperm donors. You can't do that, man.
Well, look, brother. we are this. Let me go back to the beginning. I'm gonna tell you, this thing say
we're trying to break the cycle, man.
You right. This thing say where real men have real conversations about life, manhood, and everything in between. This is a real conversation. So you're right.
Man.
People don't call you. This is what I call it, and I personally think it came from a scorned woman who came up with this term of a sperm donor. I didn't always call him that, right? At one point, I called him, believe it or not, I called him dad for a long time, father for a long time. I've been calling him father or dad way longer than I've been calling him sperm donor, right?
I mean, at the least you call him by his name. Sperm donor is not even giving him his name. That what's his name? Michael. Call him Michael. Like, I don't know.
His name is Corey, but I just
call him Corey. But sperm donor is crazy, bro.
Well, I feel like I feel like calling him by his I feel like that's more disrespectful.
So do you feel like, Perez, you feel like you, because I took some notes down here, so you pretty much fight with love in a way. Yeah, but there's different because I know you bring up like the spouses and stuff too, like love languages that you had to go through to create that understanding. So is it for me to understand my type of love language? Because you say you have to love yourself first. But how does that relate to the understanding of, like, say your mentees or even your spouse in general? Is it for them to have that understanding for the self-love or the like the qualities and stuff for them or their own love language? Or is it, you know what I'm saying, too? Because if I'm loving myself and I love this way, I'm not supposed to fully understand your love language, or am I?
Yeah, it go both ways. Okay. It go both ways. So in order for you to get what you so you only need what you don't have. So that's the void. You only want what you don't have, right? So in relationships, you're looking, that person is supposed to fill that void, whatever that void is. You got to know that. Mm-hmm. You got to know what you need.
And that's the unconditional part.
Yeah. So now you got to know what you need for you so that you can articulate that to your partner. This is what I need. But then, because you already got what you should already have what you need for you. Like, you already got you. But now you're trying to bring somebody in your life to fill the void.
Create that balance.
To add whatever you need them for, right? Whatever. You got to figure that you need them to cook, you need them to whatever. But that's, you have to be very clear on that. Because you're living, you already got you. Something makes you feel like you need a companion. That's natural. But what is it that you need from your companion? And be very clear. And then ask of your companion, what is it that you need of me? Because the relationship is about the other person. You should already have a relationship with you. Now you're trying to get a relationship with someone else. So now you have to be able to fill their void.
To create that respect.
Yeah. And so now you're filling their void and they're filling yours. And it just, that's how you form a union.
That's how you keep happiness. It's not my job. You should already come to me happy.
Right.
I shouldn't have to make you happy when you come to my doorstep. When I take you
should already be whole.
You should already be happy and whole. Now, will you come
realistically?
Yeah. No. So what I mean,
because people have trauma too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not speaking like that. I'm not saying that you can't have trauma or you can't. That's life. We all have trauma, no matter what happens.
But you got to deal with that before you get in a relationship, man. You got
that's
to.
What I'm saying.
But that don't happen. That's not realistic.
And we'll stay your ass out of the relationship. Point because it may not, and this is all relationships. Being a mentor, being a father, being a wife, being a husband, whatever. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? It's going to be fine at first, but you're going to get tired and you're going to get fed up and you're going to get upset and something's going to happen. And
unless you got somebody that's willing to listen and learn. right? Because if you become whole, and so now you know what you're looking for, you actually can find what you're looking for, because you find that a lot of women, if you know if you show them what you need, a man with a plan, you got a plan, you showing them what I'm doing, where I'm taking you, this is what I need you to do. But they got to be willing to, first you got to have the plan. And then they got to be, willing to follow it.
Yeah.
But you got to have
I'm seeing, even with you, like, how were you able to create that patience, that balance, not only with your your significant other, but you also had 7 kids plus your career, stuff like that. How were you able to mentally
get some water,
mentally get locked in on that aspect of it? Because that seems like a lot. That seems like stressful in every way. You know what I'm saying? Like how were you able to just get that understand that love, that patience, and everything with that?
It is a lot too. It's a lot. It's a lot getting there.
Yeah.
But when you so man, it's a simple concept, man. I'm gonna say this. You got to have a dream, bro. And but define that. And what I mean by, because I've always had a vision, something I wanted for my life, right? I always had that. I was always driven to do something. I didn't know what it was, but even with all the bullshit, I used to be in the streets a long time, but I always was driven. I started at different companies and I just hustle. Mm-hmm. Because I knew I wanted something. And one of the things I wanted was to be, like I told y'all earlier, I wanted to be one of the best fathers in the world, right? Yeah. I didn't know what that vision was, but that's what drove me.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
So, it's funny because that's what my program is, and that's how God has evolved me to. This is what I've always been doing anyway. And now father type is what has come out of it. And so what I've learned is that it's important to really take your time, bro, because everything else is going to fall in place. Sit down and really think about your life 20 years, bro. A picture. Because now that you determine your pace.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to give you one a little deeper than that, because this is what I've done. I have a goal, and I have this thing. I say I'm going to be fine at 99. And I'm dead ass serious. So in my mind, I've already started doing what I need to do to take care of myself to get to 99. Now, whether I make it or not, who knows? But I will never know that I didn't. But I'm on a journey.
Yeah. So
right, and so now
that,
I have patience because I know what, how long I have, and I know what I need to do, and I kind of understand how. You see what I'm saying? So you set a goal, then you set the time. You want to save $10,000 in a year, you need to save what?
Yeah, what's the necessary steps to get there?
Exactly. You want to save $1 million in the year, you need to do something different. Same steps, but a little bit more of it. So
and that's pretty much what for me, my definition, I always question myself, how do I define success? So my success is defined by being able to accomplish small and long-term goals. Feel me? That's how I define it. It's never monetary type of thing, because I feel like eventually the money will come. So it's I can't always think that, but being able to accomplish this small goal here, I think that's my part of success. So with me saying that, how do you define success? What does success look like to you?
Well, success. Every moment, every day I wake up is success. Now, I do have a dream, right? And I do have goals along the way. So have you ever defined success?
I mean, the actual definition, are you talking about what it means to us?
The definition.
Let's look it up.
Because you know what? But watch this.
I gotta ask.
This is where in the beginning I said read, because you'd be surprised how we really regurgitate words and we think we know, and we've come up with our own.
Right?
I define that.
Go ahead.
And we really have come up with our own meanings of words. And if you don't clarify what you mean, this is where the confusion comes. Everybody, well, that's not success. Well, that's not success, because we've come up with our own. Or that's not a dream, or that's not cool, or that's not right, or that's not right, or this wrong, and that, or that's disrespectful, but this disrespectful, or that's not love, but this love, and I don't like, what?
Yep. What's the face value of success?
Let's go to the word.
Yep.
It's a degree or measure of succeeding. That's all they say.
But we didn't go to succeed, because the root word of succeeding.
Yeah, I would say
to come next.
But even that alone, but there's some more to it. There's definitions that have a little more to it. But go to see, But even that alone,
to come next after another in office or position or in possession of an estate. Huh? But I don't sound right. Succeed.
Position.
To come next. Okay.
Yeah, that's like succeeding. Like in the election, the president, in the government, or even in generations, and family, and life. Yeah, succeed. But what's the other one?
What you have? Another one?
No, success. Oh, that's it?
No, succeed. I got succeed. I'm gonna go success. I think I did success, right? Yeah, success is a degree or measure of succeeding. So it's to pretty much gauge how much.
So it's pretty much what you. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah. So it's pretty much of what you think. Then, in a way, if you think about how you define success.
Yeah, same thing as how you define it.
How you define respect.
It's what you aim for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's whatever you set out to accomplish. I set out to wake up another day. I really do. And I look forward to the next day. And when I do wake up, I appreciate it. So
yeah, because you see, success ain't had nothing to do with no money.
Nah, it doesn't.
No definition.
It never does. And if you ask anybody that I've seen podcasts, whatever, if you ask any of them success, they've never mentioned money. A lot of them mention they do as well. I wish I had enough money to get my mom's a house or to this. But when you really ask them what is success, it's what they really can't enjoy. Is what me personally, I'll be successful if I leave here and my kids get to enjoy what I built. That's to me, that's one of my success. You got other ones, of course, that change. You got different ones depending on what it is in life you're kind of trying to succeed at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. But one of mine is if I leave here, or another one of them is I wanna be such a good father, a good man, a good dad that my kids wanna either when I get to be fine 99, I'm gonna start using that. My kids either want to put me in some luxury ass, nice ass home, or they want to take care of me and they want to put me in their home. So but once again, it changes depending on my job. I may have a different level of success or what I want to succeed at home, with the spouse or out. If I'm in the club, my goal is to get drunk. That's why I'm here. I'm here for one reason while I'm in the club, and that's to get lit. So
and have a good time and go home safe.
And go home safe.
Right.
So like you said, it's one of those. I think it's more subjective than we really think. We try to make everything such of, oh, well, I said it like this, so it has to be like this. But no, it's like art. It's really subjective. Succeed, disrespect, respect, honor, whatever word you want. Even me, I'm subjective. I call him a sperm donor. You call him a father. It's subjective to how we feel. Yes, it is.
He gonna stand on that.
He gonna stand on that one. But we gonna agree to disagree on this.
Succeed. Respect is respect.
It is
perspective.
But, it's all about the perspective
of
succeed. No, I'm talking about in general. It's all about.
I mean, in general, it is a perspective.
It's a perspective, But sometimes you have to kind of gel that thing together. But sometimes you can't, man. Sometimes we just ain't gonna get along. It just ain't gonna work out.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more. I'm gonna do the power question before we get up out of here. I gotta go to work in the morning. I got overtime. I gotta go do some IT stuff I don't feel like doing. So before we get up out of here, we have a power question. And the power question is, what does legacy mean to you? What does legacy mean to you? I don't know which one of y'all who want to go first. So we're going to let Mr. Parrish go first. Because now I want to look up the word.
Yeah, I was about
legacy.
To say. The word now,
He finna make me start looking in the dictionary for real.
You know what? I was when I do read, I look up words that I don't know. I'll Google them, and I don't read as much, but it's a lot of words that I've learned like doing that just by reading. Legacy, something such as personal property or money that is willed to somebody by a person who dies. Damn, I wasn't thinking that was gonna be is that what legacy means?
Hey, you know what's funny, man? Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna leave y'all with this, because if y'all ain't learned nothing, you learn to read tonight.
No, fact.
and I'm telling you, it's a game changer, man.
Oh, that ain't my legacy.
If I can't the best advice I can give you is take your time and visualize, and then Google how to get it. Bro, you could Google how to, but you got to read it and study the words, right? Don't think you know what a word means.
Yeah,
we've proven right now that all the words we use in our everyday speech
are not what we think they are.
Are not what they think we.
Yeah. Just like you remember when we had Moore on and he had talked about humble, and he looked at
humble.
He was like, look up the actual definition. He was like, he didn't like that actual definition. He was like, don't try to think of it of what we think of it. Go with what it says the definition is.
That's definition.
So
yeah.
That's what I said. That's what I meant by read in the beginning. That's it. I didn't really just mean read books. Yeah, read books, but study the word. Make sure you know what you're saying. One of my principles right here: say what you mean.
Mean what you say.
Mean what you say. But I got a twist to it, and don't say it in a mean way. And that's probably the hard part.
Yeah,
I can see how to say what you mean what you say, respectfully.
Yeah.
With love.
And on that, we gonna leave it at that, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, because I ain't got nothing else to say. I enjoyed this conversation. It's always good to have a older, I don't want to call you old, but a older, more seasoned generation in here. So we do appreciate you.
More wisdom for us young folks.
Mr. Parrish, tell everybody where they can find you and how they can find out about Father Type.
Hey, man, just a shout out to y'all, man. It's it's good to see. It's refreshing to see young men that's striving to do something with their lives. It's we need more of it, man. I just appreciate what y'all are doing, and at a young age, whatever I can do to help, I do mentor, I do, life coaching. Reach out if you got any questions. My program is Father Type. We'll be building a Dream Academy It's called Father Type, a place where dreams are mandatory. And what we do is we teach principles. I'm big on principles. We teach principles and financial literacy, and just a place where young men can come to and dream and have the tools and the resources that they need to get there. That's really the whole mission. Fathertype.com. Go to the website, fathertype.com. You can also email me at info@fathertype.com. Yeah.
You heard it from the horse's mouth himself.
Go to
Father
YouTube,
Type.
YouTube, fathertype.com. Excuse me. Yeah.
Don't forget YouTube. So you can email them at info@fathertype.com. You can also find them online at fathertype.com. I'm going back on there. I was looking at the uncleship or whatever. I'm still working through life, so I don't even know if I'm ready to be an uncle. But I am glad that
you might need to come in and be a nephew and an uncle.
Well, hey, you never know. I probably, you can never get too much help, right?
Yeah.
You can never have too much money. I ain't never had a person say they had too much money. All right, so you never know. But
you'd be surprised. It ain't even about money, man.
You right. Well, I was just speaking metaphorically, but it's dope. Like I told you from the beginning, it's dope, man. And yeah, we do this, but this comes from what we don't have and what we don't see, and what we don't have, what we don't see are older men like you. So as long as we can put this out, and as long as we can spread the word or whatever, we gonna do it.
As long as it touch at least one person.
Like, yeah, I just need one view. If I only get one like, one view, I'm gonna post a video. I post a video every 2 weeks. I post a full hour and 40-minute video every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, y'all do this? Every 2 weeks?
We do a video every 2 weeks. We're usually behind the video, so we got one video in front of you before yours come. But it depends on how I feel. If I feel like this week, or my heart or his heart is telling me that Paris video speaking for the next 2 weeks, then you're gonna see your video before you see anybody else's video. But yeah, but we try. It was every week, but with life, kids,
right.
Every 2 weeks we do this. I try to post at least every day, or if not every other day, whatever the case is. But yeah, man. But we do.
One thing about us is we consistent.
Yeah,
yeah.
We try to
I follow y'all. I see.
Yeah. We try to be. Oh, he didn't cut out. But Mr. Bruce, Mr. Paris, we're Mr. Paris, get his name right. I want to beat me up. I see he probably done got out of here, so. We do appreciate you, sir, for showing up. I'm assuming is what you call it. But closing statement: if this resonates to anyone out there, please make sure you like, follow, subscribe, tell everyone, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your grandfather. If they're alive, if they dead, will matter. If they high, if they sober, put them on. All right. It's your boy York. We got my guy McLeod over there. Being a man isn't just about taking care of your own. It's about understanding that sometimes the responsibilities extend beyond your last name. It's about the father, the brother, the mentor. We don't just influence. We don't just build communities. We want to build villages, and we want to leave behind possessions. This is your boy York. We got my guy McLeod over there. Mr. Paris is already gone, but we appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.
Go.
Yeah, I'm about to take I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, man. Yeah, fucking. I've been.